The All Blacks are 2 wins away from a historic third Rugby World Cup win, but tomorrow's semi-final against England has been described as the biggest hurdle to get there. They are currently the 2 best teams in the world, but the history between them is not so even. In the last 15 years, the All Blacks have taken on England and won 15 times. The English have won once at Twickenham in 2012. If you need a reminder, here's what losing to England sounds like.
England have scored the first points. Here's a drop kick from Farrell, and the drop kick is over. 9-0. Oh, intercept! It's going to be a try at the other end. All Blacks looking to salvage something. Quick hands required here. Is over. A famous and deserved victory for England.
England have never beaten the All Blacks in a World Cup. New Zealand won in the pool stage in 1991 and 1999 and toppled the English in Cape Town in the 1995 semi-final with that iconic try from Jonah Lomu running right over the top of Mike Catt. At this afternoon's press conference, prop Joe Moody responded to a question about England's sizeable pack and whether they can win the physical battle.
If we can beat them around the park, that's going to be a big step for us to implement our game plan and get one up on them. But at the same time, yeah, we've got to be able to dominate those physical battles as well. So I guess it's a bit of a balancing act, and 50-50.
Assistant coach Ian Foster says the game could be won or lost on the scrums and lineouts.
My serious advice to Moose is just to push and push harder. That's about the limit of my extent. But can I just say is that we've the quality of your set piece is key, and rugby hasn't changed over all the years with all the different things that happen to it. There's a simplicity that if you scrum well and line out well, you've got a good chance.
And sports reporter Clay Wilson has been at the press conference in a very rainy Tokyo and joins us now. Clay, there's been a lot of talk about pressure this week. Was that a hot topic again today?
Kia ora, Lisa. Yeah, not so much today, interestingly. There's obviously been so much talk about pressure this week. Perhaps also the media as well as the players and coaches have grown tired about talking about it. We, of course, had Eddie Jones's very colourful press conference on Tuesday, mounting the pressure on the All Blacks, and then Steve Hansen responding yesterday, talking about Jones's tactics to take the pressure off his own team. Ian Foster did touch on it a little bit. He was asked a question about how the All Blacks have managed to stay on top for so long in their sport. He said they know there's huge expectation and pressure on each game they play. It's something they come to live with, and that's just the same for this test. So they're not feeling too much different than any other test. With every test being one, they're expected to win across the world.
So also much discussion about the forward packs. What about the backs? How do they match up?
Yeah, the most talked about thing in the backs this week has been the Owen Ford, the George Ford-Owen Farrell combination at 10 and 12 for England. And Ian Foster did touch on that today, and he said he expects that means England will want to play a ball-in-hand type of game. They also can play a kick-centric game with those two fly halves on the field, but he expects England might play a ball-in-hand game. Either way, he said it's going to be a tough challenge. Two very high-quality players. Ford didn't start against Australia. Farrell started with Manu Tuolangi at 12, so they've opted to go with the dual first fives again in this match. So let's see if it works out that they are going to try and tuck the ball up their shirts and play with it a bit.
So this match is in Yokohama, and the All Blacks, well, they're still in Tokyo. So why have they left it so late to travel?
Well, this is not unusual for the All Blacks. Typically, when they're out of New Zealand, they don't do a traditional captain's run. Of course, Friday is the captain's run today here in Tokyo or down in Yokohama. England have gone down, but getting down to Yokohama is about a 2-hour bus ride for the players or a 1-hour train ride for commuters. So it's a bit of a long haul. So typically the All Blacks, They don't like to put their players through the arduous travel of getting to a ground that's a little bit far away the day before a game, which I guess seems smart. England have opted to go down, get familiar with the surroundings. The All Blacks have taken this approach all tournament. Their kickers have gone to a few grounds on the Friday before games or the day before games, but this is not unusual. A lot of games the All Blacks have trained at a different venue closer to their Tokyo base, so they don't have to go through that travel the day before a big game.
OK, and we're told it's been raining and raining quite steadily there in Tokyo today. What are we expecting weather-wise for the game tomorrow? And is that going to have much impact on the match?
Yeah, the rain has been coming down quite steadily here in Tokyo today, but the forecast for tomorrow, good news, is much better. Clear early on. It's supposed to cloud over a little bit later in the afternoon in Yokohama, but about a 10% chance of showers. So not too much chance of showers as long as the forecast is to be believed. Ian Foster did speak about the fact that it was raining today and what that might do to the ground in Yokohama. He said their experience is the grounds here in Japan have held up very well even when it's rained the day before a game. So hopefully good news, no rain, so the All Blacks can play that running rugby, that attacking style they love to play, and that'll be hopefully the downfall for All Blacks fans of the England team.
Thanks, Clay. Clay Wilson joining us there from Tokyo. We'll keep all our fingers and toes crossed for the right outcome.